Clippers reached a 4-year, $64 million extension with Luke Kennard. Let's get into my thoughts on this extension. This contract is a bit in an overpay. The average annual value goes to around $16 million per year. He did come off a career year last year where he averaged 15.8 points per game on 32 minutes and 12 shots per game. And he also did have 4.1 assists last year. And that was a huge increase from last year where he had 1.8 assists and where he had 9.7 assists on 8 shots per game. Now, this really does feel like an overpay for them. I do get it from a standpoint that you're going to be basically capped out from if you're the Clippers, because, I mean, Kawhi's contract, if he does re-sign with them, is going to cap him out. So, I mean, you want to keep as much talent on the roster as you can. I mean, Kawhi could not re-sign with them this offseason, but in a best-case scenario, you're going to be capped out, so you want to keep as much talent as you can on your roster. So I understand it from that standpoint, but this really does seem like an overpay for the Clippers. The reason I don't really like this extension for the Clippers is that Kennard seems to have some health issues, particularly the knees. They really seem to be like a red flag. I mean, it's according to the medicals, the knees seem to be a potential issue down the road. And that's one of the reasons I don't like that necessarily, this much of a long-term commitment. Only around $56 million of that $64 million is guaranteed, but I still don't like how they're making this much of a commitment just based off the fact that he has potential injury concerns. Final thing would be is that, I mean, Luke Kennard isn't really a good defender. He showed that in Detroit. He just wasn't a good defender. And I think maybe that's a huge concern because, I mean, that Clippers defense is amazing. You know, you got Pat Beverly, you got Kawhi Leonard, you got Paul George. All those are all NBA level defensive players. So in that retrospect, maybe that isn't much of a concern. But Luke Kennard's defense isn't really good. In conclusion, I don't really think this was a good move. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.